Crazy decks, patios, and porches. I just got a few crazy things here that we've done. I got a whole bunch more. It seems like this is where the handymen excel the most about doing ridiculous nutty stuff, and we're going to wander right into this. Now look here, look here. Now this one here, I was checking, this was a brand new room addition that was being built on this place. And this carpenter that poured the concrete, he put the piers in. But my customer kept saying, my house is wobbling. My room addition's got a lot more emotion. Seems like emotion, not emotion, I'm sorry, but motion. And that's what's caught, and I don't understand what's happening. It's supposed to be secured. So we kind of lifted it up a little bit, you know, the room addition up a little bit. And then I started pushing around a little bit with the Bobcat to see about this pier. Well, look, I mean, that's our piers. Now, we're in the Midwest. This is 32 inches deep. Some places in the country, 48 inches deep. Some places in the country is 2 foot deep. But there is no place in the country that's just laying on the surface deep. Now, what do you think? Do you think that that's supposed to hold anything? And this guy thought he charged full price for this. He charged full price and no footings. Well, that is funny. But what's even worse about this, people could be hurt. People could be hurt because the contractor, he thought he was getting by with a fast one, and now he got caught. And honestly, this one got caught before he got paid. So luckily, the customer didn't get caught on this one. But wow, I mean, what do you say about that? And there's another one of the piers. We knocked another one of the piers over just to check. Now you can see right there, we're lifting this one here, and we're lifting up the house, or they was lifting up the house. But look here, I mean, that is not 3 foot deep. And another pier, big old massive pier, you know, it looks like I really done a lot, but no base. So I don't know what to say about that, other than this is what con men look like. This is what they do. This is what happens. And this guy paid full price for this, so there was absolutely no reason in the world that this had to happen. Here's another picture of the pier again. So we got that, you know, I just had to show that again. That just is that crazy. You know, luckily we had the equipment to check. So what's going down here to more crazy piering? Oh, yeah, okay. We just put our deck post right down on our curb of our patio. Now, for one, we don't know how much of a piering that is. We don't know how deep that curb is. I grant you it's probably not 32 inches because it's not a wall, it's a curb. But look here, look at my shim. So because of that way that concrete is dropping off, we put a little wood shim up underneath it. That ought to hold it. That ought to hold it just fine. Oh, but that rest of that air gap, I just love air support. I just think I just get such a kick out of that. I laugh about it. Our producer here, Joey, he teases that a little bit about that too. He says he loves that air support. And now that air is pretty stout stuff. That'll hold that deck right up there. Of course, it's not secured. It's got air up underneath it. Hey, at least one thing about it, it's not drawing too much moisture from the concrete, right? All righty. Now here's another one. And it's just great. This one here. So I got a post right here. Look here. I got my post. It's just sitting at they just cut this down, or the 6x6 off, laid it on the ground, laid a 6x6 on top of it, pulled it up here, then put this right up here and just brace it. No securing, no nothing. It's just sitting there, freestanding. Of course, this one here, I think that this here pier, when this was poured, I think that I think it must have had a little bit too much to drink that day, because I don't really look plumb to me like that straight up and down. That is a disaster waiting to happen. The reason we secure these things like this, like these posts right here, is so as if anything bumps into it, or you're up here moving around and your room addition shaking, you're not going to fall off the piering system. And it's supposed to be from here to here to here and to the base and to your pier underneath the ground for proper support. They don't have nothing here. They just got a disaster. Hey, a beautiful garden though, right? I don't know what that's going to help them, but beautiful garden. All right, so here we go. I just love the concrete block stack, the cinder block stack. You know, we see this a lot, honestly. But now, so I got these cinder blocks, but I got these, they're not secured to each other. They're just standing up on top of one another. There's nothing tying it together. They're just laying on the ground. You know, look at this. They're not even stacked up plumb. They're just kind of crisscrossing here. But I love these up here. Look at my 2x2s. So I got this room addition up above here. I'm holding all this weight up here. And it's sitting on 2x2s. Here's another one over here. 2x2s? Really? 2x2s? That's right. That's what you get. This is a high quality work right here. And they honestly thought this was done. They honestly thought this was done. Okay, here comes another one here now. I got some other pictures of this one, of this total job, because this was an interesting job here. But we'll get into that job on another video. But so this has been here so long that the birds are making nest up here. Hey, nice birds, you know, they wasn't causing any trouble and crapping all over the place. And but look here, so I got my brace up here. I don't really have nothing nailed, but you know, I talking about securing everything together. How about we just take a strap and we just strap my support beam, just strap it right to my porch beam post coming up here, and that ought to hold it right. It didn't. Honestly, I can't show you more pictures because this house is going into litigation. It'll be in lawsuit. We do a lot of lawsuit help when people are going against folks in litigation work. We get hired for that as a construction expert witnessing. And this one here, literally the house was falling off the side. I mean, I told them, folks, you need to move. It wasn't just because of this, but that was just part of it. Like I said, I can't show more than that. But isn't that just crazy? Made for a nice birdhouse holder, though, right? And after all, and that's most important. The birds are safe. Now they're dry. All right, so here's a concrete patio, and I guess we don't really need any kind of fill underneath our concrete anymore. You know, we don't have to compact it or nothing. We just pour it right on the ground. Folks, this happens all the time. It happens all the time, and we see this settling all the time. Well, this one's just more excessive than others. First, you get your crackage, and then you start getting some moisture in here. Then you start getting washout, and one thing leads to another, and next thing you know, you got, I don't know what you call this. I'd call it a beginning of a swimming pool. I don't know. They got the fence around it, so they're ready for the pool. Isn't that crazy? Now, I'm going to show you another picture of that real quick here, kind of show you what we have happening here. And so that kind of puts it in perspective of somebody what they're standing. So it's up, I mean, look at that. It's up on top of their leg. It's that deep. And of course, you see the gap all the way around it. This is from somebody half doing the job again. There is no backfill up underneath there. They got washout, and they just washed it out altogether. There's no save. They can mudjack this, but there's really no saving this one. It's better just to re-pour over top of it so you don't continue to having this mess. But I just thought that was a picture of poor quality. And this what happens not instantly, as you can see this concrete been here for a little bit, but over a course of time. And that is an expensive fix. Poor concrete, especially in today's prices. And concrete's going sky high crazy. What ain't going sky high crazy, you know, right now? But you know, this is what happens, and they pay good money for this. Actually, the truth is, this is on a multi-million-dollar home. I can't tell you where, but it's in the rich suburbs of one of the big cities of St. Missouri here. And let's go on down to the next one here. So that just kind of something to be heads up on. What happened here? Okay, look here. I literally got my patio is slipping away from the house, and when it did, it literally broke off a chunk right in through here. And look here, my whole porch is just sliding away. My whole patio, I should say, sliding away. Part of what had happened that caused some of this to happen was this downspout was not going into this underground drain right here. And then it got that water coming down, seeped up underneath here, and started washing it away. Remember that last photo we was watching about washing away the concrete? That's the dirt under the concrete. That's exactly what happens when this happens like this. Well, but when I got here, the problem was still happening. Why? Because right here, my underground drain is clogged. And so when a heavy rain comes down, like we just had a tremendous record-breaking rains here in the St. Louis area just this last night, well, you get like 10 inches of rain in the evening like that, and you get washout. Well, this fills up, and then you got all that water coming down and all that hydrostatic pressure just blowing that away. And this is a big problem. So how do you check that? You just put a garden hose down side of this twice a year. Spring and fall. Just run the garden hose down it, see if it fills up and how it flows out. And if not, then you got a problem, then you're not fixing your issue. You got to do something about that. But yeah, they thought they'd fix that. They did all right. They fixed it forever. Whoa. So that's kind of some crazy things that we found on patios and decks. We got a whole bunch more. I could probably do an hour just on the craziness of decks alone. And I got some of them crazy ones out there on my YouTube videos. So check them out too. Bad deck inspections, crazy decks, things like that. You'll love it. They're hilarious. You know, I tell you what I really like more is the nutties. And I do love the comments when you folks put comments and such. I try to always reply. And the folks, they just, the other good contractors are laughing and having a good time, making fun of the contractors doing this poor work. But what I really love is the poor contractors trying to defend it. They just don't even know. As soon as you do that, then you automatically have just, you know, the whole world knows. Don't do business with ABS, whatever, construction. I don't even know that company. I just made up the name. So nothing against that particular company if you're out there. I don't want what you guys hitting me up on my replies on my YouTube videos about, hey, that's my company. Yeah, nothing to you guys here. And with that being said, thank you for watching our video. I hope it's not only been educational, but entertaining. And my blessings to you all. Thank you.
Sponsored by Troy Galloway and Galloway Building Services. GallowayBuildingServices.com.